All right, sound check, sound check. Can y'all hear me? Sound check. How's everybody doing tonight? Sound check, sound check. Who we got? Who we got? Anybody, can you hear me? All right. Got our moderators on time. What? Word. K-Dub. Self-aware B. All right, all right. Audrey Cakes up on it. All right, all right. All right, all right. Well, then we're going to do what we have to do then. All right. Good to see you. All right. Kelly Mack. All right. Apocalypse. Oh, Susan Gardner. What? Agape Love. Ah, look at all this fam. What's going on? Okay. All right. All right. Well, let me take my seat. This ought to be real interesting tonight. How's everybody doing? Everybody doing all right? Everybody happy, joyful, content, purposeful? Huh? Grateful? What you think? What you think? Is that you I'm describing right now? Amy D, Kelly, Elwin. All right, we got a full house. We got a full house. All right. Let me start loading up the screen then. All right. Good to see you. Good to see you. Good to see everybody. Good to see you. Good to see you. What made a nut? Tried to sneak past me. Always grateful. That's right, Amy D. Terry Butler. Oh, we got Terry Butler, Amy D. We need some brains to figure this case out. That's right. That's right, Susan. Yeah, but you got to earn your brains around here. All right, let me see what I had going first. We'll start here. I had a browser open, and so I would like to start there. But first, let me make a couple of quick announcements, very, very brief. First of all, thank you and congratulations to everybody who renewed their membership in the past week or two. We had several renewals and we had a few upgrades. Okay, Star Sorcerer upgraded to Selective Detective, and so now we have two Selective Detectives, Katarina and Star Sorcerer. We also had several people renew their membership in the past week, which is absolutely awesome. Okay, Stephanie Elazar is in. What's up, Steph? I'll give you the first shout out. How about that? Okay. Yeah. See, so we got some real cool people in here as members and moderators. Man, it's Agape Love. You know, Denny. We got a full house. We got a full house tonight. Good to see you. Good to see you. All right. All right. I've been watching closely, especially at the beginning, because that's where you catch stuff when it's fresh and unedited before the complete scrubber dub. That's right, Agape. You have to go back to the beginning, what they said in the beginning, right? Don't try to change it up now, because you should have known what you were talking about the first time you told me about it. Ain't that right? You know? Let me see if I can get the interact window open so we can get started on this beautiful journey. I believe you should be able to see me in this browser in just a second. All right. Cindy Abbott. Hi, all. Have been sick, so I'm late to the party. Hope all are doing well. Oh, I'm so glad. I hope you're doing better, Cindy. I hope you're feeling better now, huh? Let me send you some love. Cuomo, my daughter calls him empty suit. All right. All right, our prayers are with you, Cindy. And let's see. Jackie Bushable. Been hanging out in the Hard Truth. I know it. Hey, Jackie. Shout out to Jackie. Let me give Jackie a shout out because Jackie's been hanging out with us. All right. We got a lot to talk about tonight. And so I hope you're ready. And I hope you brought your own brain so you can earn a virtual brain. And we're going to get started. And the themes for this live are, they center on the theory that King wrote the main motive was drugs. All right, some type of illicit activity at the house that was going on that went wrong. All right, shout out to Paul Garrison. I see you, Paul. Much love to you. That's right, that's right. All right, NASDAQ baby. All right, welcome NASDAQ baby. All right, shout out to you. Welcome. Welcome, welcome, welcome. All right, so we see here, this is an article from the Daily Mail. And of course, we're not taking this word for word. Of course, there's been some embellishment in all of these news articles that report what they figure people are going to read. I mean, just like we post videos that we think people want to watch. All right, and so this article from the Daily Mail is talking about Brian's friends, a few quotes from them of what they said about Brian. And I think this is one of the best ways to try to form some type of portrait of who, a profile of who this guy is. We have to try with as many resources as possible because he's so conservative. He hasn't said anything, really. All we have is what somebody else said Brian Kohberger said. Because the only thing I've heard him say is yes or no in court. That's all I've heard him say. And then I saw him on the traffic body cams talking to the police. But as far as talking about this Idaho 4 case, I have never heard him say anything other than yes or no when it comes to this Idaho 4 case. So we should be able to agree on that. Brian Kohberger has not said anything about this case publicly that I know of. All right? JL Spraggins, where in the dickens? Hello, JL. Good to see you. Good to see you. Let me send you some love. Hold on a minute. All right, JL. Now, let's see. Where was I? Um, the alibi drop. Yep. We got that. I think we did that already. All right. I use diatomaceous earth. I hate bugs too. Elwing. Shout out to Elwing. I have no idea what you're talking about, but shout out to Elwing and diatomaceous earth, whatever that is. I'll give a shout out to that. All right. Now, we're talking about trying to get it. Oh, there's Star Saucer. Okay. And congratulations. Thank you, Star, for upgrading to Selective Detective. All right. So now Star Saucer is Selective Detective. That's awesome. All right. Welcome, Star. Kathy Jean, have you seen the woman from UK? You think her interpretation of Grub Truck video looks like Jersey #9 guy feeds Maddie something, drugs, gum? I think that's reaching, Kathy Jean. Let me give you a shout out for this great conversation starter that you gave us. All right. Shout out to Kathy and to Jackie Bushable. I think that at the grub truck, we're sitting there watching that with our own two eyes, which is the only thing we can believe these days. And then on that video, those girls looked like they came and ordered some food, chatted, and then left without any expectation of danger down the road. That's the vibe that I got. I didn't get the vibe that anybody was doing anything sinister at the grub truck. I do believe that somebody was watching them to see when they would get home. I do believe somebody out there had to be doing that, because whoever planned this whole massacre, they needed to know when Maddie and Kaylee were getting home. So I'm sure somebody was out there tracking, okay, they're at the corner club, now they're at the grub truck, now they're headed this way or that way. I'm sure that's the way that it was, but who in the crowd was the lookout, I couldn't tell you. That's a good conversation piece too, to try to figure out who they were having, who in the crowd was watching the girls to see when they would leave and go home. Only one person was really escorting them that much, and that was one of the Jacks, Jack Showalter. Yeah, Cindy, I agree, Stephanie. I love these people in this group as well as Hard Truth. All are so kind and friends. All right, that is so sweet. Let me give you some love, Cindy. Thank you. Yeah, we're just hanging out, having fun. It doesn't take any too much more than that. To just be kind to other people and respect other people's opinions. That's all you have to do. And life is so much easier. All right, so where are we? Oh, I'm waiting to read this article. My pointer is spinning, so as soon as it stops, I'll go over there. Now, this article has the reason I chose it is because it has a few stops from a few quotes from friends. And it says, former friends of Idaho murder suspect Brian Kohberger reveal how his heroin addiction drove them apart, with one claiming he duped her into driving him to buy the drugs and needles. One thing you'll notice about these articles is that Brian started using drugs like in his senior year of high school, seems like, or sometime like right after that, because they're saying how he lost weight and his diet changed. All right, it says classmates of Idaho murder suspect Brian Kohberger have revealed how he lost his way to addiction, even duping one of them into driving him to buy heroin and needles. Okay, and so he's got somebody else driving him to buy the heroin and the needles. And that sounds about right. because I don't see him driving himself because he doesn't have a criminal record for heroin. All right, he has a criminal record for taking his sister's phone, and his dad reported it. But to my knowledge, Brian Kohberger doesn't have a real criminal record beyond that incident. If he does, it's been expunged. So he's very careful about his record, and that tells you a lot about a person. All right, he could have been real sloppy with the heroin and just kept getting locked up, just didn't care. And then 10 years later, once he's finally come to his senses, he's racked up so many different, charges and stuff until he can't even come out and get a regular, clock in job. But that's not how he did it. All right, and let's see what you guys are talking about. All right. Welcome, Jackie Bushable. That's right, that's right. That was the girl from high school, I think. One of them, yes. Congratulations, Jackie. All right, we got 2 new members while I was talking. Let me go back and see who was the other one. Oh, okay. We got Jackie and self-aware. K-Dub and self-aware. All right, let me make a note of that. Self-aware B, K-Dub, and Jackie. All right, I got you. All right. Oh, Steve Kaden. How many heroin addicts do you know, college graduates with a PhD? They're out there, honey. They're out there. Let me get Cindy a shout out. Cindy, that was your shout out. It's heroin in the PhD program. Yes, there is. Yes, there is. They might not be full blown, but they're recreational users. Yes, they are. Cocaine and heroin, especially in Miami, Florida. Cocaine everywhere. Just like going to buy toilet paper. Would you like to try some of this cocaine? Just like going to the bathroom over there. All right. Let's see. Where was I? Okay. Now, it's even saying the suspect has no known link to the victims. Something about him having somebody in his phone. Okay, here we go. Casey Arns. Let me write her name in the chat. This is who is speaking. All right. Casey Arns. Who graduated 2 years ahead of Kohberger, told the Idaho Statesman the suspected killer first started taking drugs as a way to fit in, as previous reports suggested he was a chubby misfit at school. So if she was 2 years ahead of him, they could have only been in high school together 1 year when he was in the 10th grade and she was in the 12th. So either he was doing this in the 10th grade or she knew him after they graduated. I don't know. It's not very clear. All right. This was Casey Arntz is saying this. All right. Let me scoot it up. Oh. I guess I can scoot it up. What's going on? Okay. Now, it says Kohberger's school friends reveal he changed dramatically after starting to take heroin. At the same time, he lost around half of his body mass after becoming hyper-fixated on what he ate. All right, I'm going to put that in the chat. He became hyper-fixated on what he ate. Okay, by reading that, doesn't it kind of make sense that maybe he was at a grocery store that night, and maybe he was at Winco because, like somebody said, it probably was cheaper than Safeway. and he wanted to, you know, shop when there's hardly nobody in there, you know, that time of night. You don't have a big long line and whatever. Maybe that was the last thing on his list to do, and he finally got to it. No Chains No More. Shout out to No Chains No More. Boy, we got new members tonight. That's a great thing. I'm so happy to see you. All right. The more the merrier. The more the merrier. Shout out to Steve K. All right. I see you, Steve. There is heroin in probably every level of society, I would say. You got recreational users, and you got people that don't stop until they nod off and don't wake up. All right. The Bayou in Louisiana. Julie. Welcome, Julie. Avira Great. Avira Net. Welcome, Julie. Let's show some love. Louisiana. The Bayou. All right. Okay, JL, things that are stressful for most people: moving, new location, new roadways, new school, new people, different weather, climate, time zone, etc. Shout out to JL. I'm not sure what he's talking about either, but I'm going to give him a shout out. All right, and so just by what this girl said about Brian, I think it was possible that he could have gone to get the food from the grocery and also the drugs at the same on the same trip. I think he could have gone for the food. I mean, you know, he could have went for both of them. Is what I'm saying, because by the way they talk, he's very specific about his food, and this place was 24 hours. And someone pointed out that it's probably cheaper than Safeway, which I agree. All right. Yep. Elwin said he has a witness to where he was at. Okay. Does he have a witness? Shout out to Elwin. Does he have a witness? Does he have a witness? Does he have a witness to where he was? I'm thinking, you got 1,700 people follow you on Twitter. You can't get none of them to say that you was with them. None of them. I mean, y'all got to be talking somewhere, because you're not talking on Twitter. Yep. Star Sourcer. With everything that has happened within this case, have you ever stopped and thought, is this real? Yeah, that's what I said in the last video. I was like, it seemed like this is fake. Like we being played and somebody somewhere laughing. Driving around alone after midnight is suspicious. Was BK looking for a drug connection? Kathy M.I. That's what I say, Kathy. Shout out to Kathy. Or Kathleen. Let me see how to spell. Let me see how to spell this. That's what I said. That's exactly what I said. I'm just saying, you know, you got school the next day. You all the way over here in Moscow. For what? Kathleen. For what? I mean, you got to be to school the next day. You know, what if you go over there and you blow out a tire or something happened to where you end up stuck over there for a while and you got to be up and at your desk or somewhere tomorrow morning? What? And I believe one of the reports said 11:46. He was pulled over at 11:46. So that means he didn't get home till after midnight if he went straight home. So what was he doing out that time of night? Because if he was just going to shop at night for food, that's late. That's late. To be in another city, that's late. That's late. Wow. Okay, Star Sourcer gifted 5 Hard Truth memberships. Shout out to Star Sourcer. Wow, wow, wow. Wow. Let me see. I need to find some music to play for these moments. Okay, thank you, Star. Wow, wow, wow. Let me see you some love. Yes, I thought it was real. I thought to myself, this fake. And then the next thing I said was, you know what I said, Star? I said snuff film. It seemed like everything about this, regardless of who they pissed off and they came and did this, they got more out of it than just killing somebody. They got more out of it than that. They got more out of it than just coming in and being able to say they took a life. I mean, from what I'm hearing, the bodies were in bad shape. So, I mean, it was overkill. The time, no blood cleaning up and messing around in the house, filming, people talking about organs, strewn about, a brain on the dumpster. I mean, a lot went on in there. A lot. A lot went on in there. And how did the people that usually hang out and drink there know not to come that night? It was always somebody over there. So why? Paul Garrison, I would like a 4-pack of Charmin toilet paper and 1 8-ball. Paul, what in the world? Happy Thursday to you. I need to give Paul a shout out. Whoa. I don't know where you. Let me see. Okay. Let me see you some love. Your weirdness. All right. Hello, Leanne. Shout out to Leanne. Good to see everybody tonight. Hope you had a great Thursday. Hope you enjoyed your video clip today. And I hope you're ready for the weekend. Ready for the weekend. Yeah. All right. It is suspicious. All right. Let's see. Elwin here standing silent, so that will come out at trial. If it was Bethany she could use to take the fifth on the stand, yes, she could. Agape, I'm going to give you the first brain because all of them can take the fifth. And we have to think about that too. The judge can make them answer the question. But when you take the fifth, that make you look bad on the stand. I know if I was a juror and you sat there talking about, you take the fifth like Furman did, people just start looking at you like you're a lowlife, like you might as well crawl on out of the courtroom. Slither on out like you slithered in. All right. Dana gifted a membership. Lisa gifted a membership. Miss Potts. Miss Potts, don't you think it's about time, Miss Potts? Tina B gifted a membership. All right. All right. Welcome, everybody. Welcome. All right. Let me see what's going on here. We were talking about the article. Okay, one maiden nut. I think the framers would know ahead of time if someone is frameable. They couldn't frame just anyone who can alibi out of it. Somehow BK's routine made him the target. One maiden nut gets the second brain. Wow. It's going to be that kind of night? What? All right. Listen, one maiden nut is saying that if they chose to frame somebody, they would choose somebody that they know, can't alibi out of it. Well, if the people framing are thinking that far ahead, You know, sometimes they don't. Have you ever seen the police drag 3 or 4 people into the interrogation room for the same crime, and all of them say, oh, I was in jail, oh, I was this, and then they just let them go? They'll pull them in without knowing whether they got an alibi or not. They'll do it. But in a case on this level, you would think that they would find somebody that's frameable, or maybe they thought Brian was frameable. Because in the PCA, they're talking about he turned his phone off from 3 to 5, and that's supposed to just fill in the blanks for the fact that they don't know where he was. Okay, they don't know where he was from 3 to 5 because they say he turned his phone off. If they knew where he was, regardless of his phone, they wouldn't have to say he turned his phone off. They wouldn't care what he did with his phone. They don't know where he was. They have no idea where he was between 3 and 5, and they're trying to make us feel like they do. But they don't know where he was. Okay, they're telling you he turned his phone off, and now they got to go by some ridiculous surveillance of white cars at night, cars that could be any make and model. You know, driving all over the neighborhood. Some on Linda Lane, some over there on Taylor Avenue, some of them pulling up to the apartments. We got white cars passing by the gas station. Got one leaving, going out of town, you know, going toward Blaine before the incident. It's just ridiculous. It's white cars all over Moscow every night. And so to say you got somebody from another city on camera hopping all over Steiner Avenue. Now they pass by the A&W and they're over here at King Road. And you don't have them on A&W restaurant security camera. You don't have them on camera. You don't have Brian Kohberger on A&W camera. But you're saying he was on Steiner and he came back to King Road. He should be on A&W security camera. He should be on there. Huh? But he's not, because they don't know where he was. Filming in Oregon, where is this coming from? Well, my theory for the snuff film is the same as it was the day that I made that series. I believe that the way that those kids were murdered brutally, and the fact that somebody was in there cleaning up and staging and doing all kinds of stuff, you know, and the time that the police were called, the time that went by, how they left the front door hanging wide open after they got done with whatever they needed to do at 8:30. That lets me feel like there was more to this than just a quadruple murder. And then if there was a brain out on the dumpster, well, that's an organ. I don't know if there was, for a fact, if there's one on there. I've heard and read in so many places, but if there was any type of organ on the outside of the property, the first thing I'm going to say is organ harvesting, along with everything else. Because I believe this was multiple motives, 3 in multiple dimensions. I don't think somebody just came in there and killed 4 people and left. I think the reason why they killed them was hateful enough for them to come in there and kill 4 people. And I think that hate took it further than just to come in with a gun, shoot 4 people, and leave. That wasn't good enough. If all they want to do was just kill the 4 people, they could have come in with a gun, popped 4 people, and left. It would have been a lot less risky. They could have done it fast. They could have used a silencer, or as loud as the music is sometimes, all they had to do was turn the music up. Who would have heard the gunshot? Nobody. And if they heard it, who would care? Come around? Nobody. So if they just wanted to kill somebody, pissed off about something, you know, you go to the pawn shop, you get a gun big enough to do the damage, and you go and you take care of your business. Or you get a gun off the street with no numbers on it. That's what they do. And you go and you take care of your business. You don't go in somebody's house and plan to be there at least 20 minutes because there's a dog in there. You don't know who else is in there. Assuming this person or these people don't party with these kids and this is just business. If they just wanted to kill somebody, they could have got a gun and went in there and shot 4 people, 6 people, 2 people, whoever was the mark, and left, or paid somebody else to do it. That wasn't good enough. And then even with a knife, they could have went in there and cut everybody's throat and left. Because you know there's no coming back from that. That wasn't good enough. And then for Maddie and Kaylee to be in the same bed, and now they're talking about they had some sheath stuck up under somebody's body. You know, that's a lot of game playing. Somebody's playing games. Oh, we saw it as soon as we walked in the door. Oh, we later saw it. Oh, you know, this is all game. And then we got this bag. Xana got food, but can nobody show us a DoorDash driver? Nobody can verify that her phone had an order in it. Nobody can verify she had contents of Jack in the Box in her stomach. We can't verify anything about a DoorDash. Only thing we can verify is that there was a bag and there was Xana on it, and we're assuming that it was food and that it wasn't just a dope run. We don't even know. But this is more than just somebody going in the house and killing 4 kids. Because if it wasn't, they could have just used a gun. They had more planned for those kids in that house than just going in there and taking the lives of some people that shorted them on some dope. Because drug dealers don't get artistic when it comes to killing folks. They get guns, they shoot you, and they keep moving. Or they pay somebody else to do it. They don't want to be involved in any way that they don't have to. And they're not going to plan to stay in a house cutting on people and mutilating and fighting them with a knife if they don't have to. I mean, who has time for that? On one of the busiest nights of the year for that school. Who has time for that? You mean to tell me that somebody in the drug world that's high enough to have enough power and pull to have a dope house set up like that in a university town, that they're going to plan to go and spend some time in the dope house where their dope is being sold. They're going to plan to go in there and spend some time in there with a knife. And on what planet? In what country is a dope dealer or anybody he sends gonna plan to spend time at the crime scene? And they want us to believe this happened so fast. It didn't happen fast. It takes time to run up and down stairs. And then you got 2 people on each level. You can only kill one at a time with a knife. You saying one person did this. You can only kill one person at a time with a knife. And you got to cut them enough times to make sure you kill them. And then when you got somebody fighting you, come on now. How does Xana get a chance to fight back? If this was a professionals, which we know, you know, somebody had to have some kind of planning experience, military experience, combat experience, some kind of experience to do this. So why was Xana able to fight a grown man with some kind of military training until her fingers were severed? Unless that's how they wanted it to happen. She didn't stand a chance unless whoever was fighting her wanted that kind of drama to be part of the outcome. And that's what I'm saying on that. As far as the snuff film, it's still on my list. Yeah, they know who did it. Leanne Gregson. I have felt from day PCA came out, what would follow would be so orchestrated by the investigative agencies with Bill Thompson at the helm to throw this case. They know who did it, in my opinion. They do. Shout out to Leanne. They do know who did it. And or they at least they suspect who did it, and either they can't prove it or the person is so high up they can't convict them. They can't indict them. They can't do anything but try to do damage control, because they got these 4 kids murdered, their families to deal with. Then they got the university and the state revenue to deal with. And then they got to deal with the people that did it. You know, if they so high up in something that they can't really just jump out and confront them, you know, it's a big job. Because Thompson is used to plea deals. Let me put that in the chat. He used to everybody taking a plea deal. So, I mean, this is not his forte. This is not in his repertoire. They have to go to trial and fight tooth and nail, bit by bit. He doesn't have to do that. No one gets pulled over more than BK, seriously. You right. You right about that. I said that too. I said there's no way he could have made it across country driving by himself. I can't see it. Maybe you can, but I can't. All right, shout out to Kathleen. That was good. Okay, what else we got? They don't like him prying into their town's business. All right, shout out to NASDAQ, baby. Yeah, that's a good point. Yep, that's a good point. All right. Now let's see. JL. One made that good point. If he applied for internship at police department, he had to be honest about previous drug use, making him a target. Okay, let me give One Made Nut the brain and JL. I'm gonna have to do it together because I don't know whose idea was who. So y'all gonna have to get this brain together. Y'all gonna have to get this one together. That's excellent. I wonder how much he told the police about his drug use. How much did he actually tell police? And I mean, did it matter? Star Sourcer. Santa Man wants to retire, I bet, big time. All right. Shout out to Star. Okay. Wonder how much he told the police. Wonder just how much. All right. $5 sticker, Layla Stevens. All right. Thank you, Layla. Shout out to Layla Stevens for a $5 super sticker. Such cute trumpeters. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you, Layla. Nosy Rosie. Who said that? Leslie. Shout out to Leslie Vasquez. All right, we got new members. We got people posting up stickers. Y'all are on it tonight. All right. Thank you, Stephanie, and thank you, Layla. Okay. Let's see. Blah. Okay, hello, Blah. Let me give you a shout out right quick. It's better outcome for the Moscow school and community if they can tag it on one crazy outsider versus a drug connection that permeates much of the town. All right. Kathleen, shout out to Kathleen. That's good. That's good. And then they want to tear the house down because they don't want people passing by there. The new students come next year and they pass by there and they say, "Oh, that's the house where the kids got killed." They don't want people passing by pointing, "That's the house where coming over there like it's a museum. That's where the Idaho 4 got killed." A monument of where the school failed the students. They don't want that. They want her to get rid of that. Oh my goodness, Leanne Gregson. $10 super chat sticker. Oh, he's so cute. Much love to Leanne. Thank you, thank you, thank you. $10 super sticker. All right, let me send you some love. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right. We got Leanne in the house now. Okay. I found 2 good profiles for Ring Around the Rosie in Idaho and Washington. Okay. Now, let's see. Yeah, we got some ballers in here tonight. Very generous ballers. Thank you so much. You guys are super appreciated. Payne's Meat Locker business had a murder a block away, Dr. Drake. Blah. We love you, girl. I love you too. All right, let me give you some more love, Leanne. I love you too. Much love to you. Boy, I enjoyed talking with you all. All right. Rosie has 2 profiles, one 28 and the other one 31. Oh, yeah? I asked my mom why she named me this, and she said, because you look like one. Yeah, your mom was on something else. She was doing her own thing. Oh, Robin Latham in the house. What? Come on in, Robin. We were just coming to look for you. Let me send you some love. All right. Robin Latham in the house. Do it. All right. Now let's see. I think that was the end of this article here. Let me take this down. Oh, wait. Here's the rest of it. Okay, let me finish this article so I can take it down. I feel like he was looking for validation. This is the arts girl talking. I don't know why I'm on another. I don't know why my article changed. Let me go back and see what happened here. Everything is slow. I just want to go back. Oh, it flashed to today. Okay, honestly, this is not the article. Well, I'm going to just close it. It's not doing like I asked. All right, and just move on to the next one. All right, let me change my screen. See what we got here. All right. Remember these? These were the props for the snuff film, and we were considering all of the different clues that we have to the case, actual clues. So as we're being told. Because it's a tricky thing. Brian Kohberger's alibi is a tricky thing. It's a real tricky thing. And we have to, how should I say it? Keep an open mind. All right? My mom was creative and took name from Gone from the Wind. Okay, well, your name should be Scarlett O'Hara. We call you Scarlett from now on. Pam Mars, another U of I student in a fraternity, died. That's true. Pam, shout out to Pam. Yeah, I had an article on that. And it's not the only, that's not the only one either. That's not the only one that passed. All right. Okay, all right. Let me see. All right, I think you have a great point. Then cartel does give a message that they are here and we're doing business in the USA, and women and children are their calling cards. So Xana, mom, and Maddie's mom. All right, that's Shelly Klein. Shout out to Shelly for that information. All right, talking about the parents of Xana and Maddie. Okay. All right. Leslie from General Hospital. All right. Okay. Yes, we are open-minded for sure. Star Sourcer. J.L. Spraggins. True, true. They're saying, look what can happen to you if you squeal. Yes. The only problem that we have with these scenarios up until this point is that all the time that passed between the actual murders and when police were called, that's the problem that I have. It don't take that long to kill 4 people. It doesn't really take that long to go into a property, wreak havoc, and then come on out. You can do that in 30 minutes. Anywhere. You can do that in a 4 or 5-story building in 30 or 40 minutes, 30 minutes. So for somebody to spend that much time with overkill, no apparent motive, and this thing was planned out, I mean, I still arrive at the same conclusion. That they were doing, it was more than just killing somebody. It was more than that. If the FBI was already in Moscow, that could be who the cartel was sending the message. The FBI was in Pullman. The drug dealers were in Pullman, and the FBI was in Pullman. And the informants were in Moscow. This is according to reading the annual reports for Moscow Police Department. I don't believe it was that much. I don't believe they had $250,000 in that house. I don't believe it. I don't believe they had it because if they had it, they would have been a lot better about who was coming in and out and doing what. I mean, we got a guy on camera saying he just searched every room in the house. So how could they have $250,000 worth of drugs in this house? None of the owners are home. None of the roommates that live there are home. And there's a guy on camera saying he just searched every room. How could it be $250,000 in a place like that? Who's going to leave their product, $250,000 of their product in that environment? Nobody. I heard all of those. Let me see. Let me go back. Right? That's right, Edwin. No criminal record. That is why they had to get genealogy DNA. Yes, I agree. Q's Bill in the house. The time lapse is the big problem. I'm telling you, shout out to Q's Bill. Q's Bill. I'm telling you, I agree. I was just saying that. It's a problem. Either they were cleaning or getting stories straight. Shout out to Q's Bill. Q's Bill, I'm going to give you a brain. I was just saying that. It's a problem. If somebody just wanted to go in and kill somebody, it didn't take all that time and space and foolishness to get it done. You know, people in the drug world don't have time for that kind of stuff. You drive by when everybody can catch you. They catch you coming out of your front door. They catch you walking down the sidewalk to your next class. They catch you somewhere where you are totally not expecting gunfire. And they gun you down. You and everybody else involved. They don't leave victims, survivors. They call the police. I mean, this is fairy tale stuff. You know, drug dealers don't leave victims to call the police. 911. Okay, we got 4 bodies in here. The coast is clear now. You can come on, police. Does that sound rational? Does that even sound, I mean, honestly, does that even sound like something, you know, feasible, that this would act likely, probable? Does it sound probable? Okay, guys, you can come over now. Check these rooms for these corpses. It's 4 of them. Watch your step. It's a lot of blood. You can come now. Tell the police they can come now. I mean, on what planet do we do things like that? Someone did go down that path about him being the only Jewish guy in town. All right? Shout out to Star. Well, that's a whole nother angle that maybe we will go down, but I can't go down that one and try to stay on the one that I'm on now. So I'm gonna just stay on the one I'm on until I finish, and then maybe I can go back to that. All right, shout out to Tony Grant. What's up, Tony? All right, shout out to Tony. Love you playing catch up. Remember to pick a box with shoes. That's right. That's right. That's a Tony. That's right. If you flush 250,000, maybe they leave the guns at the crib. No, blah. No, I don't believe there was $250,000 worth of drugs in a house where everybody in there is just walking around doing whatever they want to do. The people that live there are not even there. And there's I don't know if it was Hunter or somebody else on film at the house at night saying, I just searched every room. I can't see $250,000 in drugs being in a house that lapse. I just don't. And then, I mean, I just don't see drug dealers coming in with knives and then just la-di-da spending time in the house like that. I don't know of one drug dealer that would either go in a house, you know, with some other people like that, knowing they're going to have to spend some time in there with knives, or send somebody. The first thing a criminal going to do if they send somebody else to commit a murder is to hurry up and get in and out of there. That's the first thing they're going to tell them. It's something wrong with the fact that this happened and then there was such a lapse in time before the police were allowed to come in and examine the scene. It's something wrong there. It's a problem for me. Put it that way. So I don't see how these kids can control when the police come. I just can't see it. You know? I can't see it. And let's say Kaylee was running the house when it was a trap. Kaylee moved out 3 weeks before the murders. So, I mean, what happened there? Were they trying to catch Kaylee while she was in town? What's going on? Who took her place when she moved out as the madam of the house or whatever? Who took her place? You know, I mean, all these people killed and then nobody's calling the police. What's going on? What's going on? Talk to me. Talk to me. Talk to me. All right. I heard all the FBI agents that were there before the murders even happened were there trying to bust drug people, Robin Latham. Listen, if you read I don't know which video I sat there and read y'all the annual reports from Moscow Police Department for 2020, 2021, 2022. I don't know if 2023 is out yet, but if it is, I read it. And in the annual reports, it told you where the ATF was. It told you where the FBI and the ATF was staking out for drugs. It told you. It said Washington. And it said it was developing what in Moscow? Informants. Informants. Matter of fact, let me go get that right quick. Y'all go ahead. I'll read your post. Say what you got to say in the chat. I'm going to read it. Just give me a minute to pull this up. Because, I mean, this is public information. I'm not trying to expose anybody on any police department on anything like that. I'm just telling the truth. And this is what they told us in the report. They said that the informants were in Moscow and the drug dealers were in Washington. The FBI and ATF were staking out and making drug busts in Washington. So a lot of the drugs that's being sold in Moscow belong to drug dealers in Washington. That's in the annual report. That's in the annual report. I'm getting ready to put it up on the screen for you. There's a trial connected to Colombia drug trafficking in California. Their preferred weapon is a meat cleaver. Okay, shout out to JL. I was trying to give one to Blah. Hold on. Okay, there's Blah. JL. All right. Don't say meat cleaver. Everybody gonna say Opie because he got the meat truck. Don't say meat cleaver. But I'm just thinking, I don't think these people in Colombia and California, you know, if they are trying to kill 4 or 5 people with a meat cleaver. Maybe they are. Maybe they are. I don't know. I have to check on these. I'm just saying the average. Let's say the average. So I won't say drug dealers don't do this, drug dealers don't do that, cartels don't do this. I'm going to just say the average crime, murder, homicide, where it's drugs involved, you know, it's either drive-by or somebody come in with a silencer in the house with a gun and take everybody out or something like that. It's not an everyday occurrence that they use a knife or sharp-edged weapon. I'm not saying it doesn't happen. I'm just saying it's not the weapon of choice for drug cases. When you see any type of drug bust where they have weapons, 9 times out of 10, it's guns. High-powered guns. Something that's going to shoot a whole lot of times. It's not, you know, it's not cowboys and Indians type stuff. They want guns. You know, even young people that's going in these schools killing, they going in there with a gun. Ain't nobody going in the schools or school shooting. You don't hear about the school where they go in and stab a bunch of kids. You know, people love these guns. I just don't see it. I don't want to keep going back to it. And I agree to disagree. Some people believe that, you know, the drug dealers would go up in there with knives so that it'll be quiet and they'll do this and they'll leave Dylan and Bethany and all this stuff here. And some people, like me and Q's Bill, some of this stuff is a problem. Okay, so it's all right. We got 2 or 3 different perspectives here. But one thing that most of y'all do agree on is that Dylan and Bethany most likely let the killers in, according to the survey. But we'll talk about that in a minute. I'm trying to get this annual report up on the screen. Let's see, would it be? It's probably the 2022. Here it is right here. All right, let me find that section and then I will put it up on the screen momentarily because my computer is breathing a little hard right now. All right, who is that said snitches get stitches? Kathleen. Huh? Dylan could work for Mary Maids. Lord have mercy. Somebody here's drinking. Somebody here having a nip. Who is it? Mary Maids. And then I really don't think Maddie is stupid enough to flush $250,000 of drugs down a toilet. I'm sure Maddie, if her parents or one of her parents has a criminal history with drugs in the street, she got enough game and enough in her mind to know that that's just something you don't do. I don't see Maddie. Maddie's the smallest one in the house. She and Bethany might be the same size, but to me, Maddie is the most fragile out of all of them. And I just don't see her going to the bathroom and flushing some drugs that don't belong to her down the toilet because she knows what that means. Because at least one of her parents has drugs in their criminal history. I don't think Maddie would do that. I don't know what happened. I don't know what went wrong. But I just don't believe that this girl was that green that she thought she could do that. I just don't. And I think if she got fed up, she could have left just like her buddy. Just like Kaylee. She could have packed her stuff and left. She already was hardly there. So, I mean, she didn't have to be there. She could have left just like she was at another party that night when the police came. She could have been somewhere else. Or she could have packed her stuff and left. I give Maddie more credit than that. I give Maddie, just by looking at Maddie, I give her more credit than that. I give Maddie more credit than to think she can flush. You know how much drugs that would be to be $250,000? I mean, you know how long it would take to flush $250,000 worth of drugs down the toilet? You know how much effort that would take? Do you know what $250,000 worth of drugs look like? Especially if some of it is marijuana. You know how much of that is? Let's just be reasonable. You know how much, how you think, do you think $250,000 worth of drugs will just fit down a toilet? Do you know how long you will have to stand there and dump out marijuana and cocaine powder and meth? You know how long you will have to stand there to get $250,000 worth of drugs down one toilet? I'm just saying. We have to think rationally. I give Maddie more credit than that. I do believe it was concerning drugs. And I believe somebody messed up big time. But I don't believe Maddie was naive enough to think that she could do something like that and then just get up and lolly through the tulips to class like she did nothing. You know, she ain't on the run or nothing. She just decided to toss somebody's stuff and then just get up and grab her book bag and go to class. I mean, come on now. I just don't believe it. I mean, Maddie is small. She seems like a very fragile, petite girl. And I just don't see her with her pink in her window and stuff. I don't see her even getting in that deep the way she would put her hands on a dope stash. I just don't see it. I just don't see it. I do believe that it was drug related. All right? And I do believe that they picked somebody. Just like on the movie Drug Related when I did the one with Tupac. Remember the video I made with Tupac where he said, you picked the saint. Where they picked the guy out the middle of the street. All right? All right. Another sticker. Cute bill, $5. Great stuff tonight, Hard Truth, and everybody here. Thank you. And let me show you some love. Let's show Cute Bill some love. Thank you so much. Yeah, me and Cute Bill, we're on the same page tonight. Because we realize that it's more than meaty eye to this case than just deciding to end somebody's life. Because you can do that in 2 minutes. With a gun, you could have been in and out of that in a minute, in 2 minutes. All right? Thank you, Cute Bill. Much love to you. Let me send you some more love. Thank you so much for that. Great stuff, huh? Blah. Girls with that much pink stuff don't do drugs. Shut up. Blah, let me give you a brain. Because you using yours. She don't even give you that vibe. That's why she was somewhere else that night. Because she didn't want to be around that mess. And then she didn't never come to the door. She never came to the door for the police. Never. On time you hear Maddie on the phone. Somebody call Maddie. Maddie was nowhere around. I give her more credit than that. I give you more credit than that. I give Maddie more credit than that. I'm sorry. Cindy Dane. Shout out to Cindy Dane. That girl is not that dumb. And she wasn't interested in street life. You can tell. She was going to get her a job at a desk somewhere with air conditioning and internet on the phone in a cubicle somewhere or whatever where she could be comfortable. Maddie, I'm talking about. And that was going to be the end of it. She wasn't getting ready to do no hard labor nowhere. And she wasn't going to be nowhere where she had to be uncomfortable or inconvenienced. You could tell that. Huh? I'm just saying. It was a message regarding two parents. NASDAQ baby. Yep. To me, that's more rational than Maddie flushing something. I believe the two parents could be the reason. I said that from the beginning. You know, look, you can watch It's a Family Affair. That's the name of the video I made. It's a Family Affair. If you want to hear about that. Shout out to NASDAQ baby. Yep. Remember we talked about that and It's a Family Affair. She was very resourceful, Robin. Shout out to Robin Latham. Kaylee was very resourceful. And she and I believe if anybody was getting money from any drug activity in that house, I believe it was Kaylee. Where was Maddie when she talked to cops via the phone in her bedroom? It was on the body cam, JL. Maddie is on body cam talking to the police. When they came there and nobody that lives there was home, somebody called Maddie. And he was talking to her on the phone. Maddie was at another house. All right. Yes, Robin, her sister said she liked her name brands. Right. Star Sourcer, what is MJ channel? It's Michael Jordan channel, Star. It's Michael Jordan channel. That's only MJ I know. Yeah, maybe here and there, Leslie, but not on the regular. I didn't see that one. I'll look at it tonight. Okay, ISP experienced in games. Yes, shout out to Elwin. All right, Elwin jumped back in. Okay, well, here's the annual report I've been trying to put up. Let me see if it's ready now. All right, I did a video on this. You know. All right, I think I found it. And the officer in charge of it is, hold on, it's a long report. I had it. I should have saved it. Okay. Methamphetamine. This is the 2022 annual report for Moscow Police Department. And I'm going to put a couple of things from here on the screen while I'm at it. All right, here's the first one. It says Moscow drug seizures. All right, you should be able to see it on your screen in a minute now. All right. Now, let's have a good look at this. It says, this is the 2022 report. And they're saying in 2022, they seized 596.4 grams of methamphetamine in 2022. They seized 412 and a half fentanyl pills. All right. They seized 20.9 grams of cocaine, 2.1 grams of heroin, and 630.8 grams of marijuana. Now, marijuana and meth are the biggest drugs they seized in Moscow in 2022. Methamphetamine and marijuana. So, I'm inclined to believe that probably a lot of the drugs that were at King Road was marijuana. I said this before. We know it was a little meth up in there. We already know that. You see, there's only 2.1 grams of heroin. They only seized 2.1 grams of heroin. There was not big heroin ring going on in Moscow in 2022. They only seized 2.1 grams of heroin. That's recreational. Okay, what do you say about that? They only seized 2.1 grams of heroin. FBI Behavioral Analysis Unit, National Center for the Analysis of Violent Crime, FBI 2012, 30 pages. JL, what is this? Uniform Crime Reporting, UCR program via the National Incident-Based Reporting System, right? Hold on. In NIBRS, U.S. Department of Justice, FBI release fall 2020, 29 pages. Okay, well, hold on. Hold on. Let me see if I can get in on this phone right here. Upcoming. Okay, hold on 1 second, guys. Oh, here it is. Oh. Let me turn that down. Okay, so I need to be able to see what you can see on your screen. Okay, it's on there. Probably could stand to be a little bigger. Let me stretch it open a little more. All right, that's as big as I can make it. This is Moscow drug seizures. Y'all can see that. Let me send you some love. Wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up. My son became a dermatologist. He knew what it was like when we went through hard times. All right, shout out to Leslie for sharing. Thank you. All right, so let's see. Working hard for the money. What y'all talking about? Buenas noches. Amy Conway, buenas noches. All. But it's all good. Deb, it means you work hard, I think. I don't think I said that. What are y'all talking about? They were all good students from what has been said. Yeah, I think they were pretty good students. All right, let's see. Busted Flush. Shout out to Busted Flush. I know you were in here. All right. Shout out to Busted Flush. The load lightened on the trip to dispose of them. Leslie, I'm sorry. What happened? I have a personal experience. My daughter passed away from it. Oh, okay. Prayers to you for that is right, Leslie. Wow. Well, so then you have a vested interest in this case. You know, somebody that lost a child like that. Wow. You can relate probably more than we can. You probably can relate more than we can. All right. No, I don't want to get sad. I'm gonna shake it off. I'm gonna shake it off. I don't want to get sad about Leslie's daughter. All right. Let me regroup here. Oh boy. Who had a phone call? Had to step away for a bit. One Maiden Nut. Shout out to One Maiden Nut. Okay, let me put this on the screen. I've been saying it for the longest. Okay, I got the drugs up there from last year. What do you say about that? Only 2.1 grams of heroin was seized. Can you look on the screen? Only 2.1 grams of heroin was seized in Moscow in 2022. So heroin was not it. If Brian Kohberger was going to Moscow for drugs, heroin was not it. According to the Family Post, it was cocaine. But we don't know if we can trust that post. What do you say about that? Uh-oh. Hi, I'm sorry I have to go. If I see one more sideways comment, I'm going to snap. So I'm just going to put on my big girl panties and walk away. Love y'all so much. YouTube hasn't been kind to me today. Robin, what's wrong? Shake it off, Robin. I don't know what's going on or what happened, but don't be like that. We all can get along. Whatever happened, I'll apologize. Whatever happened, I'm sorry for it, okay? I'm apologizing for whatever got you upset. Okay, I'm sorry. I don't want to see you leave because of whatever's got you upset. All right, there's some love, Robin. Don't do it. Don't do it. Oh boy, yeah. Let's have some positive energy. To follow up. Okay, JL said, "Wonder how much was not seized." Well, that's not a very big town, is it, JL? I mean, 412 fentanyl pills, and then marijuana. I mean, cocaine and heroin are barely on the list. Why is that? Why is that? Hey, Deb. Shout out to Deb to the road. Good to see you, Deb. Who do I need to beat up for Robin? Robin Latham, I hope you did not pull out. If you do, you boy, I'm going to blow up your email. I got something for you, Robin. All right. Laura Smith. Shout out to Laura. Shout out to Laura Smith. Sorry for your loss, Leanne. Here's some love for Leanne. His death will not be in vain. I'm starting a foundation for you that can't afford good care. All right, Leanne. I'll give you something for that. Let me find something. Okay. There you go. All right, here's some love for Leanne. Okay, so we have some view of the drug game here. And here is what I was telling you about the informants. I don't think you need to see that one there with the responses. Field training, K9, bike officer, drone, motor unit, traffic, Whitcomb. I thought this was the one. Maybe it's 2021 then. Let me make sure. I really want to show it to you. Okay, here it is. Corporal Dean. That's who I was looking for. That's who I was looking for. All right, here's the first part. This is what I was looking for. Finally. Okay. Okay, thank you for your patience. Here it is on the screen. And this is Corporal Dean. This is what I was looking for from the beginning. This is what I was looking for. All right. It says, let me see. Has your screen changed? Can you see Corporal Dean on the screen? Okay. Okay, you should be able to see it now. Okay, I'm going to read it off. This is the 2022 report, and it says, Corporal Dean continued to work closely with the Quad City Drug Task Force and our federal partners with the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms, and Explosives, which is ATF, and FBI. Corporal Dean's collaboration with these different agencies help keep dangerous narcotics and firearms out of our community. In February, Corporal Dean used confidential informants to help to identify a residence in Potlatch, Idaho, where items stolen were hidden from several burglaries on the Palouse. A search warrant was served at the residence, and investigators recovered thousands of dollars in stolen firearms, jewelry, tools, and sporting goods. Didn't I tell you? It says stolen firearms. Nobody wants a Kohberger knife. All right? This is coming straight from the police report. This is coming straight from the annual police report for Moscow. It says a search warrant was served at the residence and investigators recovered thousands of dollars in stolen firearms. Stolen firearms. This is what they use for these types of crimes. Something they stole or got from the pawn shop that somebody else stole and got money off of it at the pawn shop. But either way, stolen guns. This is what they use. Nobody in the dope game is worried about a K-bar knife. Yeah, you need to go speak before Congress, Leanne. You need to go ahead and go do it. Because these drugs are getting more and more dangerous. And these kids that been doing drugs since middle school or even elementary school. These kids have been doing drugs since they were little itty bitty kids. When these new synthetic drugs come out, they think they can take those as aggressively as they do marijuana or a crack rock. But that's not the case. Because even a crack rock will give you a heart attack if it's too much of it. You know, these synthetic drugs that they got out on the street now are more powerful than what they were taking before. And so you can't sit up to the table and consume like you did 5 or 10 years ago. You can't do it. You can't do it. He said they recovered jewelry, tools, and sporting goods. All right, here's the rest of it. Let me put it on the screen. Now, here's the second part of it. Still talking about Corporal Dean. Because they said in the 2021 report, I have to open that one up. It said clearly that they were building informants in Moscow because they couldn't do it in Washington because of the laws. Remember, we talked about this. All right, here's the rest of it on the drugs. It says in December of 2022, Corporal Dean decided he was ready for a change of pace and accepted a position with the Latah County Sheriff's Office as bailiff and training sergeant. We wish Corporal Dean our best and know he'll be a great addition to the sheriff's team. A key duty of the campus division is the maintenance of a safe campus environment. Okay, this part of the police department, that the sheriff department was to protect the campus. Even though this is the city police, they're telling you they had a division just for the campus to keep the campus environment safe. And so they failed miserably. And now somebody has got to pay. All right, when 4 students died one night after a football game, somebody slipped up. Somebody failed miserably. Huh? Y'all listening? You heard me. All right, something was debunked. Agape Love is back. Shout out to Agape Love. All right. Corporal Dean moved up to the sheriff's department. All right, I will pass my email along. Okay, good, Leanne. No, I don't mind. As a matter of fact, I'm glad you brought that up. We got 7 new members here. If you want the newsletter, the members only newsletter, you have to send me your email address. I'm going to put my email address in the chat right now. And if you are a member and you know you want to receive the weekly newsletter, I have to have your email address. And so you send it to me and just put in the title newsletter. And I know that's what you want, because I get a lot of email lately. So new members and even members in here that still don't get the newsletter, because I don't have everybody on the list, not even close. Okay, I say maybe about 35% of all of the members are actually receiving a newsletter, and that's really a waste because it's a free benefit. So, and also you can submit articles to the newsletter now if you want to write something and submit it. I will post it in the newsletter. So if you just became a member, these 7 people, or you've been a member and you still don't get the newsletter, here's my email address, and I'm going to send you some love to help motivate you. Ha! And so then you send me your email, and I'll put you on the mailing list. Because I think we're on newsletter number 3. All right? So jump on board. All right. And isn't there another one that was charged with sexual harassment and was only reprimanded and not fired? Shout out to Star Sourcer. I know for a fact that the sergeant over there at WSU was fired for sexual predatory behavior. I know he was. And his foolishness went on for about 1.5 years before they finally gave him the can. He went on and resigned about a week or 2 before the Idaho 4 murders. But this was a sergeant at WSU. All right. Yeah. Good. L-Wing sorority. All right, L-Wing, take us on in with the sorority. What do you mean by that? Expound on it, please. Okay. Sorry I'm late. Sudi Vaychik in the house. What? What's up, Sudi? All right. Let's show Sudi some love. And I also want to say thank you to all of the members that rejoined for your 2nd month. If you see the people in the chat with a yellow Hard Truth logo, those are people that are on their 2nd month of membership. All right, so let's show some love for these people who bothered to rejoin to keep their membership going. All right, so I celebrate the new members and the current members. All right, now let's see. What else are we doing here? Okay, we got Sudi, Hard Truths, something about newsletter. Let me see. Busted Flush. Hey, from Australia, Dan Watt. Oh, we got an Aussie. Hey, Dan. Shout out to Dan Watt. What you doing over there? I know y'all up to something over there in Australia. Guaranteed. What you up to, Dan? Okay, well, we got a full house now. We got our Aussie in the house. All right. Now let's see. I thought DOT sounded peculiar, and I'm not talking about gender or anything like that. Found that person annoying. ICBW. That's JL. I think he's providing some information to somebody else here in the chat. I'm not sure about the entire conversation, but I give you a shout out, JL. Okay. All right. Shout out to JL Spargans. Good old friend. And let me see. Oh, it was Kaylee, not Maddie, who helped solve a local crime a few months earlier. Kathleen. Yes, they say she was a true crime buff. They say Kaylee loved true crime, probably sat around watching forensic files like we used to do. Tamara in the house. Oh, Tam. What's going on, Tam? Good to see you. Good to see you. Stephanie. Let's see. I was there. Well, I think Robin did step out. I'm an Android person. That was Stephanie. No. I can't. Best membership you can invest in. That's right. Busted Flush, I am right behind you in the 70s with Tie Stick Hash. Maui Wowie. But LOL, it was awesome. So carefree and simple. Had so much fun. Star Saucer. Shout out to Star for making it a good vibe comment. That's a good vibe comment. All right. That's right. Keith Bill welcoming Dan. Dan in Australia. Aussie in the house. Ha ha. All right. Defense has to investigate DM and BF to show character. Let me give L-Wing a brain. We need to talk about that. We need to, oh, I said a brain. Hold on, L-Wing. We need to talk about that. We definitely need to just put a pin in it right here. We need to talk about that. We have to talk about that. All right? Because we keep saying, oh, it's drugs. Kathy Jean, where you going? We just got started, Kathy Jean. Where you going, Kathy Jean? Lord have mercy. All right. Well, let me send you some love. If you must go, thank you so much for coming out. Let me find a heart. Thank you so much. For joining the conversation. All right. Quavo Gold, the fine Colombian. What you talking about, Jill? Oh my God, Willow done jumped up in here and spent another 50. Willow is a millionaire, I'm convinced. Tying up tomato plants, so won't comment much, but thrilled I caught her live. I'll be listening. Wow, tomato plants. Shout out to Willow. Thank you so much. Let me show you some love. I'll show Willow some love. That's beautiful. I appreciate that. Whew. Y'all are too good to me. Too good. I don't understand it. Thank you so much. And let's see. You can email me some pictures of the tomato plants. I would like to see that. I'm scared to plant in my yard because the animals come out and eat it when you plant over here. They come out of the woods and they eat up whatever you plant. All right? So thank you, Willow. Wow, we got a big pot going here. We got 7 new members. Thank you so much, guys. I love you guys. I'm so grateful. I just thank you for coming out and even being bothered to listen. Less more to give. I just thank you for that. I appreciate it. I do. Don't even think I don't. Because I know everybody's working, have families and things. Thank you so much. All right. Well, you were still there and with those beautiful babies and took a break once in a while, right? Okay, I'm in another conversation. I'm not sure what's going on. Yay, Willow. Yep. Thank you, Steph, and thank you, Sudie, for you all for helping me show Willow some love. All right, Dan Watt. Is it true what I've been hearing that BK and BF are a lot closer than we think, as in driving around together. Dan Watt. Now, I'm going to give you another shout out. This is why we need to talk about this, because I don't know if it's me. Tell me if it's me or not. Let me change my screen. Is it me? But when the PCA came out, I only saw mostly that picture of everybody on the porch and stuff. I didn't really see that many pictures of Bethany, period, and Dylan. And then after about a month, I started seeing more and more pictures of Bethany and Dylan together that I didn't see before. Is it me, or is it me? I've seen more and more pictures of Dylan and Bethany together after the first month after Brian's arrest. Because that first month, I didn't hardly see any pictures of Bethany and Dylan together. I didn't hardly see that many pictures of them together. But after, I would say in February, I started seeing a lot of pictures of them too. And they turned out to be closer friends than what it seems like. I'm just saying. They seem a lot closer than with the others. I'm looking for my stuff right here so I can put it on the screen. I just put it up. I don't know why I put it in this folder. Full of junk. All right, let me see. Oh, I threw it in the trash. That's what I did. I threw it in the trash. Let me see if I got another one. All right, is it me, or do we, what's going on? All right. Yeah, Willow is the GOAT. Yeah. We had the best chat ever. That's right, Leslie. Busted flush star source, so you can even imagine when you were in college, so innocent, stumbling into whatever these beautiful souls fell into, right? I remember when I was a freshman. And I'm telling you, the wolves are always out, aren't they? It's a song. Listen, I have an iPhone. Took me a while to realize that I had to use my laptop to join. Do you have to use your laptop to join? Shout out to Leslie. Do you have to use your laptop to join? You can. I thought you could use your phone. Okay, I'll do it after the live. All right. Let's see. Listening to you at work. All right. Now let's see. Defense has to investigate DM. We're supposed to be talking about that right now. That and Quavo Gold. All right, Tam. Now let's see. I'm sorry, I'm wicked tired. Figured I would say goodnight before I fall asleep. All right, Kathy. We're going to let you off the hook just this one time. And that's it. All right? That's what I'm starting to think. That is awesome. I'm sorry. Okay, I'm trying to get down the chat. All right, thank you. DOT said some things that are old news, whether true or rumor, but acted like it was new. High drama over a banana sandwich. That's JL for you. All right. Shout out to JL. And who's going to get the last brain for the night? We got another 30 or 40 minutes. Come on, guys. Come on, come on, come on. Come on, come on. Yes, Leanne, sweet tea is the only tea. Oh, green tea, green tea. I did not see Bethany at all. Now, somebody know what I'm talking about. Star Sourcer. Somebody know what I'm talking about. When the PCA first came out and they were having the bond hearing for Brian Kohberger. You remember? Okay, I found Bethany. I just didn't find Dylan. So I put Bethany up there. And let's just assume that I'm talking about both of them. I can't find what I did with Dylan's. I had them together and I threw it away. I shouldn't have done that. Okay. So there's Bethany. Because this is we need to talk about this for real. For real. Let me see if I can find. Now there's Dylan. All right, so Star, you know what I'm talking about. These girls, only thing we know is that they went and got a tattoo together, remember? And that's when we start associating, besides both of them still being alive, that's when we start associating Dylan and Bethany together, is when they got the tattoo. And then we would look for pictures of both of them together to see what kind of friends they were. And that's when we start seeing all these different pictures and videos with Bethany and Dylan together looking tight like friends. That's what we used to say around the way. When we see somebody that's good friends, when you see one, you always see the other, like Maddie and Kaylee. We would say that those two people are tight. And so we were looking for evidence, I know I was, that Dylan and Bethany were tight. And at first, I couldn't find it. And then all of a sudden, everywhere I turn around, there's a picture of Bethany and Dylan together. It was hard to find a picture of Dylan at all. I mean, of Bethany at all. Yeah. That's right. Rod just suddenly they're together and with the other sorority girls as well, including sisters at the Grub Truck. Yep. Shout out to Tony Grant. And another thing that blew my mind is that Bethany was at the fraternity house with Ethan and Xana. That's what they say. I'm like, what? What's she doing over there with Ethan and Xana? For what? Is it a guy over there at the frat she was seeing? Was Bethany dating somebody in Ethan's frat? And where was Hunter? Because Hunter was at the house every day. There's no way something like flushing drugs or whatever went on and Hunter didn't know about it. That man plays a very, very critical role in this, and you hardly ever hear his name except for maybe he's the one that made the 911 call. But Hunter is knee deep in this as far as knowing what went on. Hunter knows it all. I'm going to put that in the chat. He knows everything. He was at that house all the time. If not every day, every other day. Not only that, he was answering the back door. He was at the front door and the back door. He knew everything. And then all of a sudden, do we see Hunter at all the night of what happened? Do we see Hunter at all? Do we see him at the corner club? Do we see him at the Grub Truck? Do we see him at the frat or sorority house? Do we see Hunter at all on the night of the football game? Do we see him at all? Do we see him at all at the band field walking with a beer? Do we see him at the apartments when they're talking to the guy that was at the Grub Truck? Do we see Hunter on any of this footage? It's like he's missing. Star Saucer. I even started to think Bethany wasn't even there that night. I still think Bethany wasn't. If she was involved. Shout out to Star. I'm going to give you a brain. Because you talking right. You are talking right. That's just common sense. Because this girl is sneaky. It's like we thought that she was on the first floor asleep, didn't know anything that happened. And if it was me, I'm just saying, if it was me, I would have stuck with that story. I don't care what I saw, what I thought I knew. I would have told him I was asleep. I don't know what happened when I woke up. All this was before me. That's what I would have said. I would not have been somewhere giving a statement about me being there while 4 people was killed and what I saw and what I didn't. The devil is a lie. I would have been pleading the 5th, the 6th, the 7th, the 8th, the 9th. They wouldn't have been able to get me to say a word, because guess what? That's quadruple murder. You gave a statement. Oh my God. What were you thinking? But then again, these statements seem manufactured. Or Bethany, maybe Bethany didn't really give much of a statement, because they shouldn't use whatever she said too much in detail in the PCA. She probably didn't want her name in there. Just like she left town. She didn't want to be in Moscow. She's distancing herself in every way possible. And it's just, I get the vibe that Bethany was there. I said that 1,000,000 times. And people like, she was there. She said this and that. If anything, she might have been the one running at 2 o'clock in the morning, running out of the house around 2:15. She might have been running out of the house, on the camera back there in the woods. That could have been Bethany. But I don't think she sat through 4 murders consciously. And I don't believe she woke up to the smell of blood in the house. Overwhelming smell of blood. And just an ominous feeling that something is wrong. Because you can't be in a house with 4 bodies and the Holy Spirit or something doesn't tell you something is wrong here. There's something out of order here. Something very, very wrong. You have that feeling as soon as you open your eye. Matter of fact, it might wake you up to tell you. That it's angels around. The angels might have tapped you and say, hey, you need to wake up. Nobody's just in a house with 4 bodies, with the blood just smelling so bad, where it's 4 corpses there and blood everywhere. This was the testimony of the responding officers, and the coroner said there was blood everywhere in those rooms. And you know how blood smells. Just a little bit of blood, ladies. Don't leave me out here by myself. Just a little bit of blood. We know how that smells. Imagine 2 rooms full of blood and just saturating the mattress saturated with blood. Imagine the smell over time. And then something just wake you up. Something's not right. And you get this feeling down in your stomach or deep down in your spirit that something is wrong. And then something doesn't smell right. And then it's cold outside and the door is wide open. The front door is wide open. You don't experience that and know nothing. And you don't seek to know anything. You just walk out to the front of the house and join a crowd of people that's calling the police. Come on now. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. We don't even we're not even on that level. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. They get a lot of time, right, Tony? I see so many pictures of Bethany and Dylan together after the fact. It just seemed like that's what they wanted us to believe at the beginning, is that 2 people were sleeping in a totally different part of the house when they knew that was a lie. So if they can lie to me that easily about Dylan and Bethany being asleep on the 1st floor, you can't mess that up. If that's what they told you and that's what you told us, that should still be the story. Yeah, left and came back. Shout out to Steph. Yeah, left and came back. Why not? You don't just get up and, what are all these people doing outside? Oh, all of my roommates have passed away? Gee, let me step out here with them and see if I can be of assistance. Come on now, stop it. Then you see somebody you don't know with what hairy eyebrows. That's right. Oh, that's crazy. You know, you're in the penitentiary, you looking at somebody else's eyebrows to see if they're bigger than yours. How can anyone see bushy eyebrows in the dark? They don't. Shout out to Star. They don't. No normal person could stay for any amount of time in a house with 4 mutilated bodies. Shout out to Donna R. For the truth. How could you even suspect? And then when you wake up, you know your friends usually, somebody running their kitchen looking for a bowl with some milk and some cereal or something. Somebody is looking for the shoe from last night. Somebody's coming to turn the TV off. Somebody fell asleep with the TV on in the living room. You know how it goes in a house like that. You know? Sometimes this case scrambles my brain. Who's that, JL? He's driving. Dylan's frozen shock face. Jack D said he was sleeping. Well, I think somebody over there in Australia said they better thaw her out. Or somebody in Australia said they better thaw Dylan out. She can be thawed out now. She might have been in a frozen shock phase then. But that was then, this is now, huh? Huh. That was then, this is now. Well, it was said that BK lent his car to Bethany. I did not know this to be true. Not confirmed. Shout out to Agape. Well, let me ask y'all this on that tip right there. If all this is going on with BK and Bethany, shouldn't we have some type of evidence that they knew each other? Or is it possible that Bethany and BK knew each other and we don't know about the connection? Let me hear what you got to say about that. What do you have to say? Is it possible that Brian and Bethany knew each other and we don't know about it? Is that possible? Yes or no? I already told y'all it was Dylan who had the bushy eyebrows. LOL. You know what? You need to behave, Leslie. Shout out to Leslie. All right. Now listen. How can anyone see bushy eyebrows in the dark or a seatbelt in the dark for that matter? It's a lot that's just really wrong going on here. All right. The first narrative was a bunch of bullcrap. Then the story gets changed. Q Spears. Shout out to Q's. True. But that's what we all believe. And I'm not talking about for a day or two. They let us believe that until the PCA came out. They let us believe that those girls were on the first floor asleep until the arrest. They let us believe that. Claiming they hide information from the killers. Come on now. That's insane. That is literally insane. To believe that the reason why we don't know it is some fake gag order. Or they holding on to information until when or what? All right, let's talk about this alibi. All right, it's time to talk about the alibi because we're moving into the deeper territory. I think we're all in agreement that this is drug related. At least we could agree on that. I think that's progress. We can agree that Brian possibly was taking some street drug or prescription drug, to help him keep going. I don't believe he was taking heroin, and based on the police annual report, I don't think they had enough heroin in Moscow for Brian to get in it. I think if he was going to get something that would help him stay awake, not something to have him nodding off. He couldn't afford to take marijuana or heroin, or he would be somewhere asleep when he's supposed to be handling his business. So we can scratch those off and say that he was either trying to get some meth, some cocaine, or something that would keep him awake. maybe. And so drugs is central in our theme. And a lot of people are still saying that the snuff film is far-fetched. I'm going to have to bring some evidence that these things do happen. It's not as far-fetched, bizarre, or coincidental as you think it might be compared to other cases, because it's going on. It's just on the dark web. And we're not going far enough in there to get arrested, but we're going to talk about it. All right? Because it does happen. And look at all of these poor kids endured. You know, it might not have been so bad to try to remember them if they had been shot. At least it would have been quick, and they wouldn't have been sprawled all over the place in their own bodily fluids. That's just ridiculous. That's just evil to do that to somebody. It's just evil. I'm just being honest. That's just evil to do that to somebody. And just leave them like that in their own refuse. It's just, mind-boggling. That one or three people could do that. I don't care how many people did it. If it was just one person or if it was 5 people. That's just mind-boggling that you could do that. To somebody. To anybody. And then to somebody's kids. Oh boy. They had to be high to be doing when they were doing it. And and still there's got to be a couple more mistakes in there. There's got to be more mistakes in there. Yeah, the snuff film explains the bloody mess. All right, let me give Denny a brain just out the gate. All right, that explains why this had to be such a gruesome scene. Right. Now, you listen, me and Denny and Q's Bill, we're on the same page. Let me give you a brain for that, Denny. Because guess what? There was no reason to have to go in there and mutilate somebody with a knife. Unless you're doing it for film. Bethany is in school in San Diego, allegedly. Why not I online? I probably, Agape, I'm going to give you a shout out on that. But you know what? I don't blame her. I would want to be as far away from that school as humanly possible, because this guy hasn't been to trial yet. They already subpoenaing me. They subpoenaing me to come to the courthouse. And, forget that. I don't blame her. I would try to be in another jurisdiction as much as possible. I wouldn't want to be bothered. Simple as that. I wouldn't want to be bothered. I wouldn't want to have anything to do with it. I would plead the fifth every time they ask me something. And I would let them know I'm not cooperating at all. I don't want to be a part of it. I don't want my name in it. Matter of fact, maybe she did tell them that. Maybe that's why she's so silent in the PCA. But now she's in the mix, deeper than she wants to be for whatever reason. That subpoena kind of exposed her a little bit. Because before that, Bethany was just like a silent part of the case. Huh? Yeah, there was a rumor that one of them young men that was stopped in Banfield was watching it live. Now, that sounds like a rumor. Who is that? Lars Smith? But, anything is possible. I'm not going to rule it out. Because there were people running from the house at about that same time. Remember? 312? You got 4 young men running from the direction of the house, and one of them is carrying a white box. Why did she get the tattoo if it was so bad for her? Marion M in the house. Shout out to Marion. Yep. If it's so bad for you, why you wouldn't have got the tattoo? You don't want to be associated with the school. You don't want to testify at court. You don't want to say, what you saw. You couldn't call the police. Come on now. Bethany is not sorority queen of her new school. Now, how you know that, Tony? That's just too fast. Y'all getting the dirt faster than I am. And I'm researching. What is a snuff film? Horror? I don't know how you enter dark web, but that's because I don't want to go there. I don't blame you, Tam. A snuff film is when they film somebody actually being killed for real. That's what a snuff film is. Somebody's being murdered and they're actually filming it. Yep. All right, Andy Ruler. So strange that undercover cops from two agencies together sharing and looking at pics on 3 or 4 students' phones was that distraction for M coat to be put on fire hydrant. Andy Ruler, could you explain what you're saying? Can you expound on that a little bit more? I'm trying to understand what you're saying. And where's Annie Potts? Where's your twin? Huh? You need to find your twin, Annie. Listen. Let me catch up. A snuff film is basically filming a murder, right? With Halle Berry. Yeah, and people pay for this with big money. Yeah. Well, Denny, it is to a certain extent because can you imagine how much those films cost? They're not a dime a dozen. They're not a dime a dozen. Okay, I'm still waiting for y'all to answer me on the question I asked. Do you believe it's possible that Brian and Bethany know each other and we just don't know the connection? Is that possible? That's what I want to know. Yeah, that was pretty evil what they did. That was pretty evil. I just really don't understand how you do that to somebody. How do you do that to somebody and then just go somewhere and go to sleep at night? It's beyond me. All right, who is that asking about the snuff film? Because I have a whole series on that, and it's called "Snuff Explains a Lot of Stuff." If you should start with the first episode. Who is this? Tam. I'm gonna refer you to my film. Yeah. I have a series called "Snuff Explains a Lot of Stuff." It's a series. When you get a chance, you can check that out. Right? All right, that's for Tam. They don't know each other according to Ann Taylor's court documents. According to Ann Taylor and LaBar. Remember the other attorney said it too, Denny. He said there's no connection. He said that in January. He said that in January. So, I'm asking, do you all think it's possible that they know each other, but we just don't know? Maybe he didn't tell Ann Taylor, or Ann Taylor knows, but she can't admit it. I don't know. I guess not. I'm curious why Ethan Chapin hasn't been looked at with a fine tooth comb like the others. Maybe he's the key. Shout out to Terry Butler. Hey Terry. Okay, there's a new twist. What do y'all think about Ethan? Now, this is what I heard on Ethan's family. And this is gossip, basically. A huge sacrifice of some kind. Yep, shout out to Laura Smith. Because it's got that on there too. If you're a drug dealer and you've been devil worshiping so that you can keep dealing drugs without going to jail, when you involve that ritualistic stuff into this right here, all right? Q's Bill said it's possible that Brian and Bethany know each other. His fam looks away. Whose family looks away? Steph, whose family looks away? BK entered WSU when the WSU PD was having a corruption meltdown. Shout out to Elwing. Yeah, the sergeant, he resigned a week before the murders, actually. Okay, Marion M thinks that Ethan was involved. Okay, come on, Marion. Tell us your theory. I want to hear this. Tell us your theory, Marion. You can't just say that. You have to tell us what the theory is. Huh? All those supposed phone calls to Ethan, in my opinion, was an alibi for him. Oh, you hear that? Y'all hear that? Hard truth, the audio and chat is about a half hour off for me. Oh, I didn't know that, Elwing. Okay, where are you at, Elwing? Where you at? A half hour off in the chat. Where are you? Where are you, Elwing? Ethan's family said the law enforcement hadn't returned his golf clubs. Well, I heard that they paid off the Chapin family to just look away from this whole thing, and that Ethan's mom wrote the children's book to launder the money. Now that was kind of wild to me too. They say the reason for the children's book was to launder the money that they got paid for wrongful death. Anybody heard that one? Huh? Yes, the gematria points to law enforcement according to Zachary Hubbard, SJL. Kathleen, I suspect that Ethan was just in the wrong place at the wrong time, right? Shout out to Kathleen. I think Hunter knows everything. Elwing is time traveling. Shout out to Kelly. Elwing, where you at, man? Where are you? All right, let's see. I see them rolling in the white Elantra looking for the homies, grabbing some carbonara while discussing life and love and corruption. Brian and Bethany, why not? All right, Tam. That's very illustrative. Illustrative. I can see Brian seems to be by himself every time they stop him. Like a loner, like somebody that probably could use some friends. I don't know. I was just tying it out, and yes, the gematria at JL Spriggan. All right, JL, he got his commentary going. Busted Flush, no, and it's weird. Shout out to Busted Flush. What's going on? Shout out to Busted Flush. The audio started 40 minutes after the live chat. Oh my goodness. No, Elwing. Oh my goodness. Where are you? Susan Gardner, I think they were sending a message to the drug dealing parents. I think they lost a lot of drugs during those busts. Shout out to Susan. And we're back to the parents because we know that Xana's mother was rolling hard around this time. Really hard. And I just, man, Xana's mom was rolling hard, and then she tried to get Ann Taylor tripped up. This is the lady, you know, she tried to get Ann Taylor tripped up. I don't know. Hard truth, you're behind on the chat. LOL, we answered your questions on time. All right, Leslie, I'm going to catch up. Because when I look over to change my screen, I can't see the chat. Then I come back and it's moving so fast. I'm going to catch up. All right. Let me go back. Right? Q's Bill is talking about when they took a picture of Kaylee's ID. Rosen Dodger took a picture of Kaylee's ID. She came right on outside, and Xana came in the kitchen and went back. She didn't even come outside. She didn't have any shoes on. If you put those body cams in slow motion and slow the speed down, you can see those things yourself. You don't have to take my word for it. You can see it yourself. Nasdaq, baby, I actually think Xana's mom was the queen. All right. We're hearing a lot about Xana's mom and Maddie's mom tonight. So I'm going to write that down. He didn't do that with the guys they talked to. No, he didn't. He was just out of line, period. He accused Bill. He was completely out of line. And the fact that he he knew that was being filmed is beyond me. How he could still do it. Yeah, with the zip ties. I don't know what's going on with that. How can Ethan's parents distance themselves from this when they have two students who are right in the middle of it? Well, I guess they say life goes on, and I'm sure those two that they got in there, they got a free ride now. They don't have to pay no more to go to their school. So why would they move them? They don't have to pay now. You know, the two students they got at the, if they got more students, the triplets are at the school. Hey, they don't have to pay for a thing now, NASDAQ baby. They don't have to pay for a thing. So that's why they're still there. Okay, they don't have to pay for a thing, and on top of that, imagine a nice little cash, consolation for consolation, some cash for consolation, CC. All right. Now, apparently it was a pretty big fight. NASDAQ, they literally said they won't be attending any of the trial or comment about it. They did. Spruce and Gussie. All right. Shout out to Spruce and Gussie. Good to see you. Good to see you. They did say they would not be attending anything. They just washed their hands of the whole thing. And you don't hear them saying anything, making any statements about the case. It's almost like they tapped out. Zip ties are related to a drinking game. NASDAQ, baby, you got a lot of information. I never heard that. All right. Listen. Right? There was 4 boys, one with a white box running down the street. Later on, Maddie's black jacket on the hydrant by the cop car. Now, I don't know about the jacket, but I do know about the white box. Shout out to Annie. I do know about the white box. I'm going to have to investigate on the jacket. But I know for a fact the boy was the young man was carrying a white box, something white, the size of maybe a gift box, at 312 when all 4 of them were coming from the direction of the house. This is facts. This is not speculation. That's a fact. That's a fact. All right. Good to see you. Okay. Much love, everybody. We don't have to have the exact same opinion. Everybody's opinion is welcome. Thank you, hard truth, and still know nothing. Yep. That's what it's been from day one. Last time I filed a case like this was OJ. Yep, Steph. Yep. I remember vaguely you from the Kylie R case. All right. The officer also claimed he saw the Boise speaker, the Bose speaker, from where he. Hold on. The officer also claimed that he saw the Bose speaker from where he had been standing talking to the guys down the street. Yeah, he did comment on it. Q-Spill. Let's see what else you got here. Absolutely impossible for him to have spotted it. He had to have been snooping around that house previously, spying on those girls to have seen it. Shout out to Q-Spill. Listen. Okay, I'm going to give you a brain for that. But listen. This guy, in that same body cam, he says to Kaylee, if I have to tell y'all again, and he asked her, you know the drill. He said 2 or 3 things that'll let you know that he's been to the house before, besides the fact that he went straight to the back. He never even stopped at the house. And I see something popped up here. Hold on, let me see. Somebody show some love. I need to find it. Hold on a second. All right, that's Star Sourcer with 20. All right, Star Sourcer, you busy tonight. What's going on? A selective detective, gifting memberships and throwing around cash. Ooh, Star Sourcer. Okay, all right. Much love to you. Thank you so much. All right. Boy, we got a big pot tonight. That's awesome. That's awesome. Y'all showed a lot of love tonight. I'm just thankful, I guess is the word. Thank you. All right. Bethany is afraid of arrest if she returns by her lawyer, Terry Butler. Shout out to Terry. She's scared of something. She been acting scary ever since she came from the tattoo shop, because people start being skeptical of her. Before that, we didn't really know. All we knew it was somebody on the first floor that went through something very traumatic. But then when she started popping out with, online with tattoos and all that crazy stuff, people like, wait a minute. They call BS, and from then on, she's been a suspect along with everybody else. That's just how it went. Right? Good, I like it. Leslie Vasquez, Star Sourcer, Busted Flush. It's possible they could both be informants. Let me give you a brain, Busted Flush. The police told us in their report that the informants were in Moscow. They told us that. We didn't have to speculate. All right. Now, this is why. This is the motive for the drugs. Somebody being an informant, not flushing anything down the toilet. Somebody being an informant. Now, that'll get you butchered. Being an informant. Maddie was not that simple in her brain to sit up there and flush $250,000 or even $1/5 down the toilet. I just don't believe it. But I do believe that somebody in that house was an informant, and at least one, maybe two, and a lot of people took the fall. Took a fall because of it. That's what we need to be looking at. Informants. This is the motive for a drug cartel, or even just some high level up drug dealers in Washington or wherever, this is the perfect motive for them to come and do something like that. Informants. Somebody in there watching everything that's going on and telling the police everything. You know, somebody knew everything that was going on and was talking. Yeah. Yeah, informants. This is the problem here. Now I can see the house being full of informants. I don't see $250,000 in drugs. I mean, wishful dreaming. But I do see informants. I do see informants. I do see that now. That's the avenue we need to go. All right. JL said the white car is ubiquitous. Yeah, it is. That's the perfect word for it. Let me get JL a brain. That's the perfect word for the white car, ubiquitous. Because guess what? We done heard about it so much, and it's supposed to be on all these different surveillance, all up on Linda Lane. They coming up with a white car. But at the same time, they still can't show us or prove to us that any of it is Brian Kohberger. We seeing a stock photo. All right, so ubiquitous is the perfect term. That's all we're seeing is a stock photo, but at the same time, we got the gas station, we got Steiner Avenue, supposedly turning in on Taylor, supposedly Linda Lane. We got so many sightings of this white car, and we don't have any of them at the same time. It's everywhere. And so are those hybrid police cars. They're ubiquitous too. All right. Okay, so where are we? Q's Bill. Bethany bolted out of town for sure, trying to get clear of everything and not be grilled. Yeah, it's like they thought it was a game, her and Dylan, when they went to the tattoo shop. If they know what was good for them, they would have laid low from day one. As soon as the operator 911 was called, that was the time to get your purse, your shoes, and get the heck on. That was your cue right then to go home to your parents and stay there and to keep your mouth shut. Okay? That was your cue right then. And that's all they should have done. That's all they should have done. All right? And so we got Diddy on the snuff film. DM's duck lips bother me. Donna R. You know what, Donna? I'm gonna give you a shout out. I'm just y'all tripping tonight. But hey, maybe you need to get it off your chest. I hope you make it. The way she look at people bothers me. The way Dylan looks at people, the way she was looking at Kaylee when Kaylee had the mirror up and Dylan was behind her looking at her, to me that was not good. That was not a good vibe. It was not a good look. It just made me feel like there was some envy there. That's the way I saw it. All right? All right. Okay, we're going to take, I'm going to take probably another, let's see, it's 11:20. It's something we haven't covered here. It's something we haven't covered. Let me look at my stuff. That's not it. That's not it. Hold on just 1 minute while I pull this, get this off of here and reload my screen. Hold on a second. Y'all, hold on. I can't see the chat right now. Okay, let me see. Is this it? All right, and then what was our verdict on Kohberger being in Moscow? Did we say drugs, food, grocery? Yeah, we did. We covered that. All right, let me clear my screen and reload. Now, let me ask you this. Because we know that, let me ask you this. I'm going to put this question in the chat. All right. Well, what do we need to talk about, Star? Now, here's the question. This is a big question. There's the question. When was Brian Kohberger targeted? And the reason I say that is because even when he was stopped in August on the 21st, how did the officer see a seatbelt to even know to stop him like that? It just seems like there was something going on even in August. I mean, it just seemed like there was something going on with Brian Kohberger all the way in August before this crime even happened. You know, they stopped him for a seatbelt ticket in the middle of the night. I mean, what is it with this guy? Is he a bad luck magnet? Or does he know something very, very valuable? And everybody's in behind him because of that. What is it about this guy? Why was somebody putting him over just for seatbelt almost midnight at night? His car doesn't look suspicious or like a drug car. He doesn't even have a tent. So why? Why? Every time you turn around, Brian Kohberger being pulled over or something. Why? BK was targeted before the crime happened. It was in the plan. Shout out to Leslie. Something is wrong. This guy it seemed like he was being targeted in August. Because, I mean, look, he was stopped on August the 21st for no good reason. Come on now. Come on, something's wrong. Yeah, my dogs would have gone crazy, barking their brains out. Something wrong with that too, Star Saucer? Is something wrong with that too? The dog, don't get me started on Murphy. Yeah, we hear about the corruption, Elwing. Why were they bothering him? That lady stopped them for that bogus reason of stopping in the intersection. He couldn't proceed. Shout out to Q's Bill. I'm just saying, it just all adding into what I'm saying. Why? What did they keep bothering this guy? Why are they insisting on burying him under some crime? Why? What is it about him? Why? Andy Ruler. 2 guys were arrested same day, no official ties to this, but hushed. Guy named Jason. Last name can't remember, a county or 2 away. Grand theft. I wonder if of Eugene or Elantra. That's a lot of information, Annie. I'm going to give you a shout out. So, you're talking to Tam. Okay. Tam might know what you're talking about. But I'll give you the shout out. Maybe he did get that internship with law enforcement. Maybe he did. I haven't seen any evidence of a dismissal paper or a paper saying, I'm sorry, but we can't help you. We changed our mind. We're giving you the boot. I haven't seen it. They pull everything else out of the air. I haven't seen it. Mary M. Brian was friends with Kopaka. Have we proven that? Has anyone proven that Brian and Kopaka knew each other or were friends? Anybody? Anybody? Hmm? Anybody? Because we already know this guy is, they're obsessed with making him the one. Why? Why do they have this man on a stake like that? Why? Is he a bad luck magnet? What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? Is he a bad luck magnet? Because seeing to me, like, I don't get a big criminal vibe from him. When I watch him on body cam or in court, I don't get the murderer vibe. I just don't get it. I don't get that vibe. I get the vibe of somebody that got caught with their hand in the cookie jar with something less offensive and they're trying to disassociate themselves from it. That's the vibe I get. I don't get the vibe that this guy went berserk in somebody's house in his own car. He gonna come from Washington in his own car and drive right up to a house and kill 4 people. Stop telling us that lie. That's a lie from hell. Nobody's gonna drive their own car to a crime scene. Bring their own car to a crime scene. And then leave the crime scene in the car. Get out of here. I don't believe it. There's no way in the world Brian Kohberger or anybody else with an IQ greater than 35 drove their own car that they have to drive to school and work, drove it to a crime scene to kill 4 people, and then got back in their own car and drove away and went and parked in front of their apartment. I don't believe it. I just don't. And now you showing us a stock photo of this guy's car saying you have him on surveillance. Why are you showing us a stock photo if you got all these photos of this man's car? And then they say he returned to the scene at 9:30. I saw the car that was coming through the road at 9:30. That's not Brian Kohberger's car. What did JL say? It's ubiquitous. The white car. Well, boy, he's as big as that word is, it's still an understatement. Because there's white cars everywhere in this story, and the only one that we know is Brian's, is the one that was parked in front of his apartment. That's the only one we could be sure of. The one they claim they found haphazardly. I just don't believe this guy drove his own car to a scene, a crime scene where there was going to be blood involved. And then in about 36 hours, he had to be to work. Get out of here. I just don't believe it. You can tell me, and you can talk about me for not believing it, but I don't believe it. I'm sorry, I don't believe it. I don't believe it. I don't get the vibe, but I do get the vibe that Brian is hiding something. There's some information that he knows that we don't. All right? And so when you got one hand in the cookie jar, a little small cookie jar, and then that little small cookie jar is attached to a bigger cookie jar, a much bigger one, a death row cookie jar, you know, you have to tread lightly. You have to go gently into that good night, honey. You can't go stomping through there when you know you 5 minutes away from a quadruple murder charge. No, you got to go gently. You know? You got to go gently. And try not to get pulled over. That's how you survive. That's how you win. You know? If you're going out into the night, go gently. and avoid having to deal with the police and all of this craziness. People taking pictures of IDs and people at the front and the back door talking about a drug house and flushing drugs. You know, all of that is just insanity, basically. Anybody living at that pace in that type of environment, you can almost bet something is going to happen, something undesirable. I'm just saying. So, you know, this is the hard truth, but even even the hard truth now, sometimes I have to pull back and go gently. Cause if I don't pull the hard back and start going gently, I'm not gonna make it to where I'm trying to get to. You know, he said go gently into that good night. So if the night is good, don't mess it up. I love that poetry. Gently into that good night. It was a good night until you let trouble catch up with you. All right, all right. Anybody got anything else on the agenda? Anything else you need to talk about or anything else we need to put up on this screen here? I'm on the East Coast and I got 11:30, around 11:30 p.m. And so what you guys want to do? You got something else going here? Let me send some love. See if anybody's moving the chat. Seem like y'all done slowed down a little bit. All right. Yeah, sometimes you gotta pull the hard back. Yeah, you gotta. Sometimes you have to, and pull that gentleness card out, and just tap it around and see how you get a better reaction. Wow, thank you, Audrey Cates. Thank you. That looks very nice. Thank you so much. Y'all are giving so much tonight. Thank you so much, Audrey. Let me give you a shout out for being such a great moderator and always looking out for the channel. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, let me see you some love. Thank you so much. Right, just like the Rodney case, right. Miss Sloto, you missed a lot of content comments. Well, that's all right. We talk every day. Anybody whose content I missed, we talk every day, Miss Sloto. And let me give you a shout out. Shout out to Miss Sloto. Anybody that had something to talk about and I didn't get to it, y'all, we talk every day, so you can tell me all about it tomorrow. Swamp Side Chick. Maybe a fight started and escalated. Maybe they just grabbed anything they could get their hands on to use to fight with, cleaned up, and walked back home. Shout out to Swamp Side Chick. All right. What y'all think about that? Does this seem planned? Doesn't it seem planned? Huh? Oh, y'all still spending money. Shout out to Steph for a $2 super chat. Thank you, Stephanie. Let me give you some love. Shout out to Steph, one of the best moderators ever. Yes. Thank you, Steph. All right. Awesome moderator. Hard truth, since I don't know your name, I'm going to call you Joy. Leslie, I'm like a joy to you. It's all good. It's all good. If that's what you want to do, if that's what you want to do, yeah, yeah. All right, I see yeah, it's going on midnight over here. Now I'm going to call it a night tonight. I thank you guys so much, everybody that came and spent time in the conversation. All the new people, if this is your first chat, oh, y'all still spending money. Mwah! Oh, I give you a kiss back, JL. Thank you so much. Super sticker from JL Spraggins. Wow. And much love to you, JL, and to your mom. I think you are caring for your mom. Much love to you both. And thank you. Let me send you some love. All right. Very nice, JL. One of the first moderators. All right. This is beautiful. Listen, it's 11:37. Unless somebody has something they need to clarify, I'm going to leave this chat open for another 5 minutes. It's 11:38 here. I'm going to leave it open until about 11:43 and give everybody a chance. Good night, Denny. Thank you so much. Thank you to everyone that gifted memberships, bought super chats. Thank you. Star Source is still gifting. All right. Thank you. Thank you. That's 8 members. All right. JL, Willow. We got new members. Self-Aware B. I think she renewed. And Bunny. Who else? It's actually frightening. Night all. I have a different theory. Everybody had their eyes on K&M. Thanks for the live. All right, well, Miss Sloto, maybe you can share your theory with us in the latest video. Because when we leave the live, until I post another video, everybody's going to talk in the latest video that's up or on the community page. Okay, so shout out to Miss Sloto. And if you want to talk about your theory, tomorrow, you can still do that. Just let's go into the latest video, which is what? Why Kohberger was in Moscow. That's it. Just go in there and start your conversation, and everybody will jump in. Terry Butler, JL, and Star are benevolent. They are. Let me send some more love. They are. You guys are awesome. Willow is awesome. AF is awesome. That's what we're missing tonight. AF. All right. Shout out to AF. Hopefully everything's all right. Usually she comes in. All right. I love you too. Robin Gardepy. Shout out to Robin G. Shout out to Robin G. That's right. That's right. Okay, Tyler McLean. Y'all got a lot of people in here speaking for the first time. All right, you members, we have prayer on members only nights. So keep that in mind. New members, you got newsletter, and we have a members only meeting on Wednesdays at 12 o'clock, I believe. All right, so that's it for me. I'm signing off, and I leave it open for you all to finish your conversations for a few minutes. All right, but I'm signing off. Thank you so much to everybody that came and spoke and Post it in the chat. I see a lot of big names. Well, I'm gonna make like a white tee, Elantra, and scoot out of here. Love y'all. Heart to family. All right, Stephanie, Bebop Cop now. All right, good night. Who's y'all? You still up?